We start with the top focus at this hour. Even as the government of Arunachal Pradesh continues to actively advocate several mega dams across the frontier state, voices of protest against these projects have also only grown louder. Today, a massive anti-dam protest was staged at Dite Dime in Upper Siang district against the upcoming 11,000 megawatt Siang Upper Multipurpose Dam over the Siang River. Despite inclement weather, hundreds of villagers carrying banners and placards gathered at the bridge site and raised slogans against the dam projects. The protest was organized jointly by the All Adi Welfare Society, the Siang Indigenous Farmers Forum and the Bango Students Union. Protesters also alleged that the government and the NHPC had forcibly started conducting pre-feasibility report survey in an effort to break the morale of the anti-dam activists. The villagers also submitted a complaint to the SP Siang in this regard against the NHPC. My colleague Ripunjoy Das joins us live for more updates on this. So, Ripunjoy, despite several attempts by the Pema Khandu government to raise awareness regarding these mega dam projects, saying that once the people are well educated regarding why they're going ahead with this, it does not actually seem like people are stopping their protests. It in fact is only getting louder. So, what more details can you give us regarding the protests that were held today, Ripunjoy?
Yes, definitely, Ronak. At the one hand, the government is trying to convince the people through various ways and means. In fact, they have also conducted meetings in Itanagar in the recent past. In fact, the meeting was even chaired by the Deputy Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, Chona Min, who also has the hydropower portfolio with him. He had conducted that meeting, but there was no outcome on the meeting, and the protest has continued, Ronak, as even the government. We had also seen during the last assembly session of the Arunachal Pradesh Legislative Assembly that legislators like Ninong Iring, who is from Pasighat, he has openly voiced his support towards the coming up of these dams. On the other hand, the Siang Indigenous Farmers Forum, which is one of the organizations leading this anti-megadam campaign, and several other organizations today hold this protest at Dite Dime, which is in Upper Siang district. So things are going to a flashpoint where the government and its agencies like the NHPC, NEPCO, who has been given to implement several megadams across the states, are going for it seems that they are going for a coalition with the villagers who are totally opposed to megadams in the state. Ronak.
Right, and also, Ripunjoy, there's another allegation that the protesters have made is that, the pre-feasibility survey, it is being forcibly conducted all in a bid to, to hit the morale of the protesters. That is what they're alleging. So that is a big allegation. But Ripunjoy, it must be, recalled at this point that earlier one of these organizations that is holding the protest had said that they're not actually against conducting of the pre-feasibility report, but they're against the actual construction of the dam itself. So what more can you tell us regarding this?
Yes, Ronak. Today we have also received one letter, a copy of the letter also, which was written to the SP of Siang. In this letter, they have complained against NHPC that they are conducting pre-feasibility report despite a big no or protest by the villagers, and they have also informed us, although it is not in the letter mentioned, they have also informed us that the NHPC and the government has engaged people to conduct survey during night time, which is according to them is totally unethical. The major issue what the people are saying here is that they fear that their construction of a dam of such a magnitude, which is around 11,000 megawatt, will bring in untold sufferings due to destruction and all. They have this perception in their mind, due to which they are opposing any kind of survey and totally protesting the dam. But the government also is on the other hand trying to push forward these mega dam projects which are coming across the state. Ronak.
Absolutely. So the government is pushing forward, but at the same time, the protesters are also unrelenting. So it remains to be seen what actually transpires. Ripunjoy Das, thank you very much for all those updates. And on to Manipur now. The situation in the strife-torn state has once again reached a flashpoint, with various Kuki organizations today organizing mass rallies and sit-in protests to press for their demand for a separate administration and to protest a viral video clip purported to be that of Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, where allegedly certain objectionable comments were made. Worth mentioning here, the Chief Minister's office has already denied this audio clip and described it as doctored. In response to the Kuki protest, the Meitei civil society organizations have opposed the demand of the Kukis for a separate administration and the stand of the Kukis on the audio clip purported to be that of the Chief Minister. The Meitei CSOs, on the other hand, in response to the protests of the Kukis demanding separate administration, which means dividing Manipur, have called for a day-long bandh that has already impacted several parts of the Imphal Valley. My colleague Lucky Boy Singh joins us live from Imphal for more updates. So, Lucky, no end to protests. On one hand, the Kukis are protesting, demanding separate administration. On the other hand, in the Imphal Valley, the Meitei CSOs are opposing the protest by the Kukis and have declared a day-long bandh in response to that. So, what is the situation like in the Imphal Valley at this point in time, Lucky?
Yes, Ronak, as the day has been whole day. The people in the valley have been continuing the self-called bandh as the protest that has been called by the Kukizo community in various districts, that is Churchandpur and Kangpokpi, have concluded. So the bandh in Imphal is also concluded, and now yes, people in the markets as well as the shops were reopened again in the evening.
All right. So, Lucky, I request you to not go anywhere. Please stand by. I'll come back to you again in a moment. But first, let me tell our viewers about another big development that took place in Manipur today. So, the residence of the parents of Thado leader and BJP spokesperson T. Michael Lamjathang Haukip has been set on fire by unknown miscreants. The incident happened at Peniel village in Churachandpur district after the protest rally that was earlier taken out today. Haukip took to social media where he shared the photos of his parents' house and called it a third attack on him and his family. Haukip said, and I quote, "Any of my actions should not have been combined with my parents and families. I will not stop to stand for justice, truth and non-violence," unquote. Noteworthy is that Haukip's own residence was attacked by unknown miscreants on August 25th. Meanwhile, Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh has strongly condemned the arson attack on the residence of BJP spokesperson T. Michael Lamjathang Haukip's parents for the third time today. The Chief Minister added that repeated targeting of people under the guise of peace rallies is a deeply troubling trend. He also added that such provocations will not be tolerated and they will ensure that those responsible are held accountable. He added that action will be also taken against concerned officials who failed to provide adequate security despite prior warnings of potential threats. All right, coming back to you, Lucky, Lucky, so basically, once again, first it was his own residence, now the residence of his family. So there seems to be no respite for Lamjathang Haukip. The attacks keep on coming. This is the third such attack that has taken place. And even Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh has promised strict action against the culprits. So what further details do you have, and are the police any closer to identifying the culprits behind this incident?
Yes, Ronak. Today, after the rally that was organized in Churchandpur, some miscreants who have arsoned the residence of Michael Lamjathang Haukip and all the properties have been burned down. Yes, we didn't have any reports for the casualties or injuries of the family members. But yes, during the arsoning, during the burning of the house by the miscreant, there were police officers, there were police personnel. But despite in the presence of police personnel, the house have been burned by the miscreants. But yes, Chief Minister N. Biren Singh have also mentioned that this is the third attack by the miscreants towards the family of the Michael Lamjotang Haokip, and yes, strict action will be taken against those officials too who failed to provide adequate security. And as to mention, Ronak, in previous Sunday, while the T. Michael Lamjotang Haokip have joined a TV discussion of a local channel, and on that day his family and the residents were attacked, and this will be the third attack that Michael have also mentioned in the acts. But yes, despite of knowing that Michael have been targeted by our miscreant, the security forces didn't provide any security towards the family members. So Chief Minister N. Biren Singh condemned the act and also assured that the action will be taken against the officials too. Ronak.
All right, Lucky Boy, thank you very much for all those details.
Eight states at your fingertips. The real voice of the region. Watch Northeast Live. Your station, your voice.
RCF दालमिया सीमेंट है RCF एक्सपर्ट यानी रूफ कॉलम और फाउंडेशन एक्सपर्ट दालमिया सीमेंट RCF स्ट्रॉन्ग तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग
मात्र এটা প্ৰিয় না চাৰিটা বেলেগ বেলেগ বাৰ হয় সব পোৱা যাব ক'ত ফিয়ামা সেলিব্রেশন প্যাকত কিনো তিনটা পাওকেটা ফ্ৰী
এইবাৰ সকৈনাথ হস্ততাঁতৰ নিপুণ শিল্পী পদ্মশ্ৰী হেমপ্ৰভা চুটিয়াৰ সৈতে আছুতীয়া সাক্ষাৎকাৰ তাঁতশালত মুগা সূতা আৰু ঊল সূতাৰে মহাপুৰুষ শ্ৰীমন্ত শংকৰদেৱৰ বিৰচিত গুণমালা শ্ৰীমদ ভাগৱতৰ সংস্কৃত আৰু ইংৰাজী সংস্কৰণেৰে অভিলেখ কৰা শিল্পীগৰাকীৰ জীৱন সংগ্ৰামৰ বহু কাহিনী বৰ্তমান তাঁতশালত গুণমালাৰ ইংৰাজী সংস্কৰণ প্ৰস্তুত কাৰ্যত ব্যস্ত হেমপ্ৰভা চুটিয়াৰ পৰৱৰ্তী পৰিকল্পনা কি অসমৰ স্বাভিমান গামোচাখনক লৈ অসমৰ শিপিনীসকলক স্বাৱলম্বী কৰাৰ পৰিকল্পনা পদ্মশ্ৰী হেমপ্ৰভা চুটিয়াৰ প্ৰকৃতি আৰু পৰ্যটন শিতানত আছে প্ৰধানমন্ত্ৰী মন কী বাতত স্থানপ্ৰাপ্ত তিনিচুকীয়াৰ বাৰেকুৰি গাঁৱৰ হলৌ বন্দৰৰ পৰিয়ালৰ এক প্ৰতিবেদন পানী মেটেকা হ'ব পাৰে কৰ্মসংস্থাপনৰ উৎস নলবাৰী ভঁৰাল তোলাৰ এজাক মহিলাৰ কৰ্মমুখী দুৰন্ত যাত্ৰা ধুবুৰীৰ আশাৰী কান্তিৰ মৃৎশিল্পৰ শতিকাজোৰা নীৰৱ অৰ্থনৈতিক আন্দোলনৰ এক প্ৰতিবেদন ইয়াৰ উপৰি থাকিব আইনী সাহায্যৰ প্ৰশ্নোত্তৰ গল্প কবিতাৰ ৰেচিপি শব্দচয়ন কুইজ আৰু সপ্তাহটোৰ ছবিকে ধৰি পঢ়ুৱৈৰ বাবে বহু আকৰ্ষণীয় সম্ভাৰ পঢ়ুৱৈসকলে নিকটৱৰ্তী বাতৰি কাকতৰ পৰিৱেশক আৰু বিতৰকৰ সৈতে যোগাযোগ কৰক
On to another big story now. The Comptroller and Auditor General of India, or the CAG, has pulled up the Guwahati Metropolitan Development Authority, or the GMDA, responsible for supplying water, street lights and other urban civic amenities like parks and building permissions for the residents of the city, for huge delays, non-completion of major projects, lack of coordination among top officials, including the CEO, and non-implementation of key decisions taken at the authority's meetings. In the performance audit on on functioning of GMDA tabled during the 5-day Assam Assembly session, which concluded yesterday. The CAG said that the GMDA lacks commitment and has failed to complete major projects. Even if it did complete some projects, these were done after huge delays and at a much higher cost. So the CAG also pulled up the GMDA for having very few technical staff and for its lack of capacity to handle major projects. The capacity of the GMDA was not adequate to handle major projects as it was manned with very few technical staff. Barring few development works, the GMDA had either failed to complete all major projects or it was completed after huge delays and incurring additional expenditure due to cost escalations, the CAG said. The South Guwahati West Water Supply project, which was to be completed in 30 months, remained incomplete even after 11 years, the CAG said in its report. It said that a sum of rupees 1.65 crore was irregularly paid as interest to the contractor for delayed payment of bill. It further pointed that due to lack of monitoring by the CEO GMDA and lack of coordination between the CEO GMDA and the PD, unauthorized expenditure of rupees 4.33 crore was done by the MD Guwahati Jal Board for staff salary, payments to vendors, etc., violating the agreement clause. Based on the findings, the CAG recommended, number 1, the GMDA should focus on promoting and securing the development of GMA in accordance with master plan so that the key problems confronting civic life in Guwahati are addressed. Then the government should provide adequate infrastructure to the GMDA to enable to achieve the targets proposed in the said master plan. Also, rules for conduct of business of GMDA should be framed for its smooth functioning. My colleague Arindam Das joins us live for more updates on this. So Arindam, the GMDA has not been held accountable for all of these glaring delays and incomplete projects for the longest time. Do you think now, after this report has pointed out such irregularities, finally there will be some sort of accountability, Arindam?
That's right, Ronak. GMDA is the most crucial, most important department for the city of Guwahati, for all the civic amenities that has to be provided to the citizens of Guwahati. So in the report, CAG has pulled up GMDA for several reasons. One, of course, is that CAG in its report has stated that GMDA has, though they have master plans for their projects, but they have failed to comply with the master project, and there was not adequate planning that has been done to implement the projects that are taken up in the master project. Apart from that, GMDA lacks manpower. There is shortage of technical staff and other officials also. There are many officials and members in the GMDA who are either on deputation or are transferred from other departments. GMDA lacks manpower, and apart from that, non-completion of several projects on time is also a big factor that has been rightly put out by the CAG in its report. And in that it has been stated that several projects like the water supply project in Guwahati, which has been going on for several years. In fact, in one project, that's the South Guwahati West water supply project, the laying of the pipes, it has not been completed. The project was to be completed in 11 months, but in 30 months, but it has not been completed in 11 years time. So that is escalating the cost of the project. If suppose a project cost was 100 crore, but if the project is delayed in completion, so the cost of the project escalates, and so that 100 crore becomes 150 or 200 crores. So that way a lot of money has been wasted. And apart from that, a very significant point that CAG has pointed out in its report is that there was once talks going on that there will be metro rail project in Guwahati. So for that metro rail project, a DPR or detailed project report was to be done, and that's a kind of survey that has to be done for the actual implementation of the project. So in that survey itself, rupees 6.38 crores were sent, but when the report was sent to the government of India, the government of India outrightly rejected it, saying that it is unfruitful, so that the project cannot be implemented. So that you see that rupees 6.38 crores has gone wastage. So like that, when the projects get delayed, the cost of the projects gets escalated, and that's how a lot of money that's from the public exchequer gets wasted. So on several factors, the CAG in its report, which was tabled in the recently concluded Assembly session, has pointed out several loopholes in the GMDA, and has also given recommendations or suggestions to improve the department or the authority. So right now we have to see how the GMDA complies with the CAG report and how they take up the recommendations that have been given by the CAG in its report.
Absolutely. Remains to be seen how much and how sincerely the recommendations are adhered to by the GMDA. Arindam Das, thank you very much for all those details. On to the big story from Meghalaya now. The Border Security Force, in collaboration with the East Jaintia Hills Police, today handed over the body of Ishaq Ali Khan Panna, a prominent figure in Bangladesh's ruling Awami League, to the border guard Bangladesh in the presence of immigration police. The handover took place with Panna's nephew, Kamruzaman Khan Nabil, representing the family. Notably, Panna's body was discovered on August 26th in a semi-decomposed state within a betel nut plantation approximately 1.3 kilometers inside Indian territory in the Dona Bhoy area of East Jaintia Hills. The identity of the deceased was confirmed through a Bangladeshi passport found near the body. A post-mortem examination revealed asphyxiation due to throttling as the cause of death, raising significant concerns and prompting a more in-depth investigation. The presence of Panna's body within Indian territory, despite the strict night curfew along the Indo-Bangladesh border, has led to numerous questions about the circumstances surrounding his death. Authorities are investigating whether Panna crossed the border before his death or if his body was moved post-mortem. The case has sparked considerable interest and concern on both sides of the border. My colleague Purbasha Bhattacharjee joins us live for more details. So, Purbasha, continuously there are more questions than answers as far as the death the death of this Awami League leader is concerned. The body, of course, now has been handed over to the BGB. What more can you tell us regarding this entire incident?
Well, Ronald, the body was handed over early in the morning at around 5 o'clock, and it was taken amidst tight security. It was taken to Tamabil Daukis sector to be handed over to the BGP in presence of immigrant police, and as well as the nephew of late Panna was also there from the family side. Well, Meghalaya government has said that though the body is handed over, but still it will go ahead with the forensic test to know more about the reason for his demise. And the autopsy report says that the cause of death is strangulation. And but after the forensic test, more details will be known. But when it will be done, as of now, we are yet to know it. But of course, his body is handed over today, and in fact, his body was found on 26th, and we have reported at that time. But at that time, the BSF they denied, but later on, it was accepted that yes, his body was found in Umkyang area. And ultimately, his body is handed over today.
Right, and also, Purbasha, as you rightly mentioned, the autopsy report confirmed that he died due to asphyxiation by throttling. So, that is another very shocking revelation that has come to fore, and it just goes to raise even more questions than answers, and not to mention coupled with the security situation along the international border in Bangladesh as well. So, more questions than answers, isn't it, Purbasha?
Exactly, Ronak. And another interesting thing is that as per the media report from Bangladesh, the family members has stated that he had a huge sum of money with himself. But where is the money? Nobody knows, because this is what the media section of media has reported. but nobody knows where is the money. Is the cause of that because of money? We don't know whether he entered alone or some other people also entered with him. We don't know. BSF said there was no infiltration, and in fact, night curfew is going on. But if so, how come his body is lying in Indian territory, in Meghalaya sector? There are a lot of questions. And in fact, the government is also trying to find out the answer of it, Rona.
Absolutely. So mystery continues to shroud the death of the Awami League leader Purvasha Bhattacharjee. Thank you very much for all those details.
Eight states at your fingertips. The real voice of the region. Watch Northeast Live. Your station, your voice.
এয়া চোৱা মা, মোৰ আচল গহনা। তুমি সদায় মোৰ সাহস হৈ নথকা হলে এয়া কেতিয়াও সম্ভৱ নহলহেঁতেন।
আমাৰ নিজৰ চৰকাৰখন সদায় আমাৰ লগত থিয় হৈ আছে কাৰণেহে তোমাক আজি এইটো ৰূপত দেখিবলৈ পাইছো মাজনী। ভাইটি, এইডাল চোৱাচোন। ছোৱালীজনীক বিয়া দিবলৈ মোৰ এই পদেই গহনা আছে। নতুন ডিজাইনত কিবা এটা বনাই দিব পাৰিবা নেকি বাৰু?
পাৰিম বাইদেউ।
মা, মোক অলপ পঢ়িবলৈ দিয়া। মই এতিয়াই বিয়া হ'ব নিবিচাৰো। মই নিজৰ ভৰিত থিয় হ'ব বিচাৰো। তোমালোকৰ বাবে কিবা কৰিব বিচাৰো।
চোৱা, আমাৰ হাতত ইমান টকা পইচা নাই তোমাক পঢ়ুৱাবলৈ, তোমাৰ সপোন পূৰা কৰিবলৈ। ভাল ঘৰৰ ল'ৰা এটা পাইছো। এতিয়া আমি সকলোৱে ঠিক কৰিছো তোমাক আমি বিয়া দিম।
মা,
হা?
এইফালে আহাচোন।
কি হ'ল?
আহা না। সেইখন চোৱা।
তুমি ঠিকেই কৈছা। এয়াহে তোমাৰ আচল গহনা।
উচ্চ শিক্ষাৰ ক্ষেত্ৰখনত ছোৱালী শিক্ষাৰ্থীৰ নামভৰ্তি বৃদ্ধি কৰাৰ লগতে বাল্য বিবাহ ৰোধ কৰাৰ দিশত এক বিশেষ পদক্ষেপ হিচাপে অসম চৰকাৰে মুখ্যমন্ত্ৰী নিযুত মইনা শীৰ্ষক এক আঁচনি গ্ৰহণ কৰিছে, যাৰ অধীনত একাদশ শ্ৰেণীৰ পৰা স্নাতকোত্তৰ শ্ৰেণীৰ যোগ্য বিবেচিত ছাত্ৰীক মাহিলী আৰ্থিক সহায় আগবঢ়োৱা হ'ব।
RCF दालमिया सीमेंट है RCF एक्सपर्ट, यानी रूफ, कॉलम और फाउंडेशन एक्सपर्ट। दालमिया सीमेंट, RCF स्ट्रॉन्ग तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग।